What does it take to earn a combat medical badge? It's not something you get in training. It's earned in the heat of battle under direct enemy fire while you're trying to save a life. It's one of the most respected awards in the US Army, and I want to tell you a story about how one medic earned his. This all happened during a joint operation in a remote, hostile part of the world. A team of Navy SEALs was working alongside an Army unit, and attached to them was a young Army combat medic. We'll call him Doc. For days, the mission was quiet scouting, gathering intel, the usual. SEALs, being the seasoned operators they are, were a bit skeptical of the new guy. Not because of anything he did, but because trust is earned, not given, especially in that environment. Then, one afternoon, everything went sideways. The team was moving through a narrow valley when the world exploded. An ambush, heavy machine gun fire tore through the air from an elevated position, pinning them down instantly. Rocks and dirt kicked up everywhere. One of the SEALs, a point man, went down hard. He was hit, and he was, in the open, completely exposed. The team returned fire, trying to suppress the enemy, but they were in a bad spot. The wounded SEAL was losing a lot of blood, and they couldn't get to him. The air was thick with bullets. Moving an inch felt like a death sentence. The team leader was yelling on the radio, trying to coordinate a response. But their primary concern was their brother bleeding out in the kill zone. And that's when Doc moved. Without a word, he just went. He grabbed his aid bag, put his head down, and sprinted through that hailstorm of gunfire. It was one of the bravest things I've ever heard of. The SEALs laid down a furious wall of lead, trying to give him some cover, but he was still running a lethal gauntlet. You could hear the rounds snapping past him. He slid in next to the downed SEAL, immediately going to work. He was completely focused, his hands moving with incredible speed and precision. He found the wound, a severe arterial bleed in the leg, and applied a tourniquet, all while bullets were impacting the ground just inches away from him. He was calm, he was professional, and he was completely ignoring the chaos around him. His only world was his patient. Once the bleeding was controlled, Doc shielded the wounded operator with his own body as he started an IV and administered fluids. He was a human shield, a guardian angel in the middle of hell. The SEALs on the line were in awe. This young medic, the one they weren't sure about, was showing the kind of courage that legends are made of. Eventually, the supporting fire from the rest of the team was effective enough to allow them to maneuver. They suppressed the enemy position and managed to pull both Doc and the wounded SEAL back to cover. The fight wasn't over, but the immediate crisis was. The wounded man survived thanks to Doc's quick and fearless actions. Later, back at the base, there was a small, informal ceremony. The SEAL team leader, a man who had seen more combat than most people could imagine, stood before the medic. He recounted what had happened, his voice filled with respect. He said he'd never seen anything like it. And then he presented Doc with the combat medical badge. It was more than just a piece of metal. It was a symbol of courage under fire, of selfless service, and of a bond forged in the most extreme circumstances imaginable. That day, Doc didn't just earn a badge, he earned the lifelong respect of some of the most elite warriors on the planet. Stories like this remind us of the incredible bravery of the medics who serve alongside our frontline troops. They are the heroes who run toward the danger when everyone else is seeking cover. Thank you for watching. If you found this story as inspiring as I did, please like and subscribe for more.